Alright, gonna fire up a Modern League with Grixis Shadow. It's my first time, I think, playing it in the Modern Leagues. Should be fun. I've played it outside the leagues and it feels broken. I've played Death Shadow variants before. I made top 8 of the regionals with the deck. I think I'm going to keep this hand simply because it has Fatal Push and Snapcaster Mage. I could get punished based on what deck I'm playing against, but I'm going to keep it. I'll go ahead and fetch a Watery Grave and then cast a Serum Visions. Our opponent's mold to 6, so. And I'm going to get the Watery Grave of the Scalding Tarn because Polluted Delta can fetch basic Swamp or basic Island. There's no basic Mountain in the deck. Okay, we will put the Death Shadow on top and the Bloodstained Mire on the bottom. And next turn we can have Fatal Push and Stubborn Denial. Alright, so it looks like we're playing against Scape Shift. And it looks like he may have played the wrong land. Because it said he was going to pay costs, but there were no costs to pay. So we'll go ahead and play this Polluted Delta and pass the turn. Arbor Elf. Okay. There's nothing I can really do about that, so. It's playing a Stomping Ground, tapped, and I'll go ahead and Fatal Push that Arbor Elf. So it looks like we're actually playing against the Utopia Sprawl deck. So I might actually want to be careful. I can play Death Shadow next turn and have Stubborn Denial back up for like a Blood Moon or something. Six, I'd go to 11. Or I could play Gurmag Angler with Stubborn Denial back up. I think that's better. Because Death Shadow won't be big enough. It'll only be a 2/2. But I will be able to stop the Blood Moon anyway. But it could get bolted. So I think just playing the Gurmag Angler is the best avenue here. So we'll get Blood Crypt, pay the 2 life, and we will get another Watery Grave, since we have the Steam Vents. And we will do that right there. It's possible that I should just leave with Death Shadow, but since I don't know for certain what I'm playing against, I'm going to play it safe. Molten Rain. Do I even care about that? I don't think I do. I have a Steam Vents, so. And plus the deals 2 damage, it makes my Death Shadow bigger, so I really don't care about that. So I'm definitely playing against Ponza. possible that I could have just Stubborn Denialed it and then next turn had Snap, Stubborn Denial up plus Death Shadow. That's probably the better play. That was probably a misplay on my part. But as it is, I'm going to have Terminate and Stubborn Denial up next turn, so... Let's play this massive Death Shadow. Opponent's on a 2-turn clock. Yeah, I think casting the Stubborn Denial on that last turn would have been better. Alright, he just scoops. Alright, so we definitely want to bring in another Stubborn Denial on the draw and an Inquisition. And Terminate definitely. We'll probably... I think the bolts are fine. We want to get rid of Mana Dorks. We want to cut. I actually don't think K-Command is all that good in this matchup. What artifacts does Ponza play? None that I'm aware of. Like, they could bring in Chalice, but I don't know if I've ever actually seen that because they have some 1-drops to cast. Don't really want to cut a land against a deck that's trying to destroy my lands. Maybe I don't want this third Stubborn Denial. Let me update my stream info because it says I'm playing standard. I'm clearly not. Yeah, I don't think K-Command is where I want to be. Yeah, maybe I don't want to play Inquisition. Maybe I just play the Stubborn Denials. Or maybe cut a Fatal Push. It's interesting. Yeah, I think I'll just cut a Stubborn Denial. And try to lean on my discard to get rid of things. Oh, this is a Snap Keep. What I don't know yet is like if you're supposed to cycle Street Race and then cast the Serum Visions, or cast the Serum Visions and then cycle the Street Race. I think it depends. I think in this case I want to cycle the Street Race first because I do want to get turn 1 discard online. Plus I want to know what... I want a second land. Well, I've already drawn the second land, so... And it's also possible that I could draw a third Street Wraith to cast the turn 1 Death Shadow. So I'm going to actually cycle one of them. Hopefully not draw another fetch land. And I will go ahead and fire off this Thoughtseize. So I'll Thoughtseize and then next turn I'll be able to play Death Shadow plus Serum Visions. Let's get the Watery Grave. Acid Moss, Baloth, Stone Rain, Dismember. I don't care about the Baloth because I have a Terminate. The Acid Moss is kind of annoying. What does Acid Moss do again? Yeah, okay, so it ramps them. Next turn I'm going to be able to get a bigger Death Shadow, but he can just dismember it. So I think I just take the dismember. Okay, so he plays Cinderglade tapped. He drew something. Utopia Sprawl. So he's going to be able to Baloth or Acid Moss on turn 3. So I'm going to go ahead and fetch a Blood Crypt. And cast a Serum Visions. Bolt's going to go to the bottom, and Death Shadow is going to go to the top. And I'm going to play a Death Shadow. And the next turn I can play Death Shadow and Tassiger. Plays a Stomping Ground, so here comes the Acid Moss. Baloth, he just plays Baloth, that can't be right. Okay, so we know this hand is Acid Moss, Stone Rain, and one other card. I can go ahead and go to 5 and make this an 8/8 and then play Tasker plus Death Shadow. Does that even change the clock? As opposed to just playing Death Shadow plus Terminate, and I have 2 8/8s. He takes 8 this turn and more from the deltas. Yeah, I think it's better just to get this online. Let's get another Watery Grave. Because if he draws no creature this turn, then he just dies. Drew a 4, so he has Stone Rain, Acid Moss, and one other. And I don't know if they have anything on 5 that they can even cast. Bird. Bird is the word. Okay, so we know that he has a Stone Rain in the hand. I'm going to go ahead and Thought Scour myself. See if I can draw like something to get rid of this bird and just win the game. Okay, let's go ahead and attack now. I'm going to just get a basic island here. Why did he gain a life? Okay, no he didn't. I thought he gained a life, but he didn't. Alright, I'm trying to think if there's any reason to not play this task here, and I can't think of one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we have Stubborn Denial for anything. Like, even if he draws Inferno Titan, then he just can't win. Alright, let's go to the next one. We're going to keep this hand. It's got discard, removal, cantrip, and a Death Shadow that I can play on turn 2 with this Thoughtseize. If I draw a second fetch land. So to that end, I'll probably just fetch a Blood Crypt with this Scalding Tarn. Okay. Alright, well that changes everything. Alright, let's go get Blood Crypt. Thoughtseize. I could lead with Inquisition. I think that's actually better, and the reason that is because I might want to take an early play with Inquisition and then a big play with the Thoughtseize, so I'm just going to fire off the Inquisition. Spreading Seas, Condemn, Negate. So if you cast Spreading Seas, is that even a problem next turn? If you cast Spreading Seas, then he won't have Condemn up or Negate. So I think I just take the Condemn. Blue-white control is a pretty tough matchup. Okay, he just did nothing. Okay. Let's get a Watery Grave. And holding up the Negate is good because I won't be able to cast this Death Shadow if he counters the Thoughtseize. So I'm actually just going to lead with Thought Scour. If he does negate this, then I can Thoughtseize the Jace or the Cryptic. Or the Negate. Okay, so this draws out the Negate. Now I can Thoughtseize. Let's see. So it doesn't have a third land. So I'm actually going to take the Spreading Seas, I think. Or the Jace. See, I don't really care about Spreading Seas because I have 2 more lands in hand. I think Cryptic is actually what I need to take. It's Cryptic or Jace. I'll take Cryptic. Get ready to see on the Blood Crypt. So I'll get another Blood Crypt with the Bloodstained Mire. Or just draw it naturally. So we know he has Think Twice, Jace, and one other card. So go ahead and play the Bloodstained Mire. And cast this Death Shadow. Actually, I need to fetch first because I want to keep this up for Fatal Push. Possibly. And I can't get my other Blood Crypt. I could get a basic Swamp, I guess, but... Yeah, well, never mind. It's fine. Think Twice. Plays a land, so he has Jace and two other cards in hand. Just drawing a ton of lands here. Half the lands in my deck are either in my hand or in the graveyard. I wonder if he has a Verdict. That would be annoying. Yeah. Seize. 4. And well, I think Inquisition has kind of lost its luster. I'm just going to play the basic Swamp and I'll pass. And now opponent's in an interesting spot because he could play Jace and then hold up 2 mana. I don't know what for. He could tick this up, or he could just go ahead and roll it down. In which case, I'll probably just ignore it. I do not want him to have that condemn. But I really don't want him to have the Rev 2. That was a really good hit from his Jace. Yeah, I'll give him that. Okay, he took the C's and the Rev. So he knows that there's a rev and 2 cards. Alright, we'll lead off with the Serum Visions here. Bolt. Put at 5, he will be at 8. And I drew a Tassiger too. And I can hard cast his Street Wraith. Oh, I don't think Bolt's going to be any good, and I maybe want something besides the Street Wraith, so maybe I just bottom both of these. Even though this is another threat I can technically cast. Yeah, I'm going to bottom both of these. I can attack. Him. I'm going to three. I don't leave that Death Shadow in there, so I'm actually going to pay this tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I want to keep up Fatal Push, just in case he decides to attack with a Colonnade or do something stupid. And this is lethal on board. You can have a Snapcaster Mage or a Snap and a Colonnade. So he's going to be able to Snap plus Condemn. Which is medium annoying, but at least I'll get a Tassiger activation, I guess. Unless he just has another Verdict, that would be annoying. Yeah. Now I'm not sure if I can win from this position. Like this makes the Colonnade lethal, so and it also makes the Jace lethal, so I can't cast this. Or not the Jace, but the Snapcaster Mage. So I can't cast that. Because what would happen over Thoughtseize, he would have snapped in response. And then he can attack with the Colonnade and the Snapcaster Mage, and he has a backup counterspell in hand. But he also has the Rev in hand, so this game is just going to get away from me. Yeah, that second Verdict was a killer. I mean, it's not like this blue-white's a good matchup for me anyway, but I don't know why people play this deck. I don't think it's very good, but I'm just going to go ahead and concede. I'm not going to waste time. I'm not sure, like, I know this deck beats this, but what else does it beat? I don't know. This is definitely coming in. This will not be in. I think Fatal Push is okay in small numbers. So maybe cut a Fatal Push. We definitely want Inquisition and we want 2 Brutalities. And I think Lightning Bolt's kind of... Fatal Push is nice because it can kill the man land for 1 mana. could play Spreading Seas, but I don't know. I don't know if that even does anything. Go ahead and submit this. I guess rid of their man lands, but that's about it. I'm going to keep this. It's kind of slow, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to fetch a Watery Grave and get a Inquisition on turn 1, and then in turn 2 I can Thought Scour. Maybe I just Thought Scour. I don't think they have any 1-mana spells that can counter my Inquisition, so maybe I just wait on this. Yeah, I think I just wait on the Inquisition. And Thought Scour in turn. I mean, Spell Pierce, I guess, but I don't think they play Spell Pierce. And if he Spell Pierces my Thought Scour, fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with a Fatal Push, or a Inquisition, so we'll know exactly what we want to Serum Visions with. Okay, that's quite the hand. Very slow, but then again, so is mine. Alright, so let's go ahead and Serum Visions, and I can Street Wraith into whatever I scry at the top if necessary. I'm going to bottom both of those. Pass the turn. Probably just play the Colonnade on turn 2. Ghost Quarter is an issue also, so we just have to keep that in mind. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cycle this. Hopefully I don't draw another land. I could bring back my Tasker with this K command. I could also just Snapcaster and Serum Visions right now. And I think that's actually the best play, because I want to find more threats. So what I'll do is I'll get Steam Vents, and then I will Snap plus Serum Visions, then I'll have K command next turn. I can K command, get back the Tasker, and play the Tasker. Because I want to get that Verdict out of his hand, so what I really need to find is a Thoughtseize. Well, I found a Death Shadow, and I'm actually going to keep that on the top. I'll pass the turn here. Okay, so opponent plays Floodstrand. Go ahead and start by attacking for 2. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and fire off this K command main phase, make him discard a card, and return my Tassiger. And then play the Tassiger into the Verdict. That can't be right. Maybe I just play the Death Shadow and then end a turn. That way he has to cast the Verdict. And then end a turn I can K command to get it back. Sigil Snapcaster Mage. I think now I'll use this opportunity to do 2 to the Snapcaster Mage and get back a Tasker. Alternatively, because I have the Fatal Push, I can just make him discard a card and get back Tasker. Yeah, I think that's actually best. Okay, so he discards the Ghost Quarter. Second Kolaghan's Command. Try to trade off these Snapcasters. Okay. He's holding up Cryptic. So, if we just play Tassiger on 1 mana and he Cryptics, I can K-Command in response to get back the Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I kind of like that play, actually. And then after his draw, I can Inquisition him as well. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. I can actually snap plus Corrective Brutality, so I don't want to get rid of this. Cancel. Get rid of that, 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 that. Now I'm going to make him discard a card and return my Snapcaster Mage. And unfortunately, I can't snap plus Collective Brutality on the same turn. So I know now that the last card of his hand is Supreme Verdict plus another card. So I'm going to go ahead and Inquisition him now. Okay, so he drew a Flooded Strand. It's possible that I should have just held Inquisition. That could have been the incorrect play there, to just go ahead and fire that off. Drawing this Burning Seas, that's fine. But now I'm to a point where I can start looping Snapcaster plus Kolaghan's commands. And I'm actually just going to fetch this Polluted Delta in a turn. Maybe. So he's holding up. He didn't play his land. That's really weird. Because he knows I have Snapcaster. So that tells me that he's trying to protect his hands from the discard from Kolaghan's command. I will go ahead and hit this. If I hit a Death Shadow, then so be it. I think going from 8 to 6 doesn't really change the clock much, so I will just get another Blood Crypt. That's funny. So I can play Snapcaster, get back Tasker, and that forces the Supreme Verdict the following turn. But I can also snap plus Brutality, which would be nice. To get the verdict out, and then I can. That doesn't really leave me in a great spot. Could just jam the Street Wraith. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do the Kolaghan's command. Instead of the Brutality to make him get rid of the verdict. Because I can actually activate the Tasker one time, and I'll have another Kolaghan's command back. I think, no, I actually won't have enough mana to do that. To activate it. But maybe I just wait to cast the Tasker the following turn. Player. And I need to speed up a little bit. So I'm not going to talk quite as much. I'm just going to play. Since I'm behind on clock, I've been talking too much. Oh, that's a great draw. D-sphere and spleen verse. Let's take the verdict. Oh, nice. So we hit the Death Shadow. We can now cake him down the Death Shadow. Or just give me the Death Shadow. It's fine. So now he's empty-handed. That's a great draw. So he has to draw exactly verdict here. He's dead. He's dead. All right. So we got to win quick. I'll keep this hand. Doesn't have a real threat, but I'm going to keep it. It's got a cantrip, it's got Stubborn Null, it's got a Thoughtseize, and a Street Wraith. So if I just draw a Thought, a early Death Shadow, then we're in good shape. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle Street Wraith. Take the verdict. The verdict. And we have a massive Death Shadow. We have Stubborn Denial back up. And I'll keep up Snapcaster plus Stubborn Denial next turn. So he's going to get a Ghost Quartering himself to go get a Plains to try to path it. I have the Stubborn Denial. No. I should have said yes, but that's okay. So that I could have Snap, Stubborn Denial plus Fatal Push, but it's fine. Snapcaster Mage. Alright, we won with 59 on the clock. That is not a good matchup, I don't think. In fact, I think it's probably the worst matchup you have. But we were able to get there. Clock be damned. I'll try to play a little bit faster. Trying to talk at the same time as play is pretty difficult. Plus, this deck in general is actually pretty difficult to pilot. There's a lot of different lines to take. It feels a lot like a Legacy deck, which is why I actually like it so much. Professor French, this is not a keepable hand. Well, that's not entirely true. It has a Snapcaster Mage. I'm on the draw. Has a Thoughtseize, so it has a turn 1 play. I'm going to keep this. These 4 lands hands that I've kept before seem to work out okay. Okay, never mind. Alright, well, I think we're going to Thought Scour ourselves first, and then next turn we'll play the Thoughtseize. So we give him one more turn to draw something big. This is not a good matchup at all. This is actually one of your worst ones. Alright, let's get Larry Grave. Let's go ourselves. Let's Thoughtseize. Okay, so this is just Eldrazi Tron instead of regular Tron, which I think is a much better matchup for us. So we're going to take the Karn for sure because we don't want to get turn 3 Karned. And I'll play this and I'll pass. So we're going to get Smasher next turn, or he'll just play the Embringer. I hope he plays the Embringer because then I can just machine gun it down with lightning bolts. Like, didn't even crack the map into turn. The audacity. So I can go to 12. I think it's fine to keep this Bloodstained Mire in case I draw a Death Shadow. Okay. So I can double bolt and then play a Gurmag Angler. And I'm going to get these bolts away because they are not all that great. Well, I'll keep one bolt in. 1, 2, 3, 5, and one more. I think Thoughtseize has outlived its usefulness. Though I could have Thoughtseized out the Reality Smasher the following turn, so I think that was actually incorrect to do. I should have just gotten the bolt away. Yeah, not a good play from me. Okay, so it just plays a Smasher. Cracks the map. Reveals the tower, plays the tower. So we know he still has a power plant in hand. So this is a good draw. Should have kept that Thoughtseize, but that's fine. Red, red. See, I can deal 2 to him, or I can just make him discard a card. Target player discards a card, and you deal 2 damage to target. The discard doesn't really do anything, he just discards the power plant. And I play the Death Shadow, which is a 5/5. If he attacks with this, then I just go to 3. Hopefully he doesn't have like All's Dust. Okay. Alright, so he just had it. I really don't like this deck. I think it's trash, the Tron deck, but people play it, so. Fatal Push is not very good. Well, it's actually better than Bolt. I don't like Bolt at all in this matchup. I'm not entirely convinced that Inquisition's good either. But it's actually decent against Chalice. I think we got a Fatal Push since we're bringing in a Terminate. And maybe a Stubborn Enough since we have the Rejection. Cut the Inquisition. And we could cut a land. I think cutting a land is totally reasonable. Especially since we're playing Spreading Seas. So I would like to play first. We'll keep it. This is about the best hand I could ask for. We'll lead off with a Blood Crypt. Thought Sees him, and then we'll have Spreading Seas for the next turn. No, not Steam Vents. Blood Crypt. Map. Crucible Worlds. Thought Not Seer. All is dust. I think we're going to take the map here. Crucible doesn't really matter to us right now. We can Spreading Seas the tower. Just going to try to keep him off Tron as much as possible. And we'll pass the turn here. So next turn we have, okay, so he drew the power plant. He drew a Ballista, so we know his exact hand. That's one reason to keep the Fatal Push in. Right, let's cycle the Street Wraith. Hopefully we hit another land that we can put in the yard. Yeah, this is awkward. Okay, so we'll have this and we'll have Ceremonious Rejection back up. Because he's going to play the Temple and then Thought Knot, and then we'll Ceremonious Rejection. And then we can play Tasker. Talk to the hand. I love that art. 5. Okay, so we can... Actually, the Gurmag Angler is obviously the best choice there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll hold the Ceremonious Rejection in the yard so that I can snap it back whenever he gets ready to cast all his dust. Okay, so he plays Crucible, plays the Ghost Core. Okay, that's minorly annoying. Three, four. So we're still keeping the rejection in the deck. Chalice on one. Okay, so he drew the Chalice, which is unfortunate. If he goes quarters now, then I have a chance to draw a land to hopefully turn on this K command of a mountain, a red source. That's basically what I was thinking of right then. Oh, that was not a good draw. He shouldn't have done that because now I can activate my Tassiger. If he tries to Ghost Quarter in return. He also doesn't know if I'm playing a basic mountain or not. He probably knows that I'm not, but he's trying to smasher me or something. Okay, Ghost Quartering himself. So that he can replay it. Yeah, and then all is dust. Yeah, smart move. Just gonna cast a Snapcaster Mage and start running the clock. That does nothing. It feeds Delve for if I possibly draw more. So I will go ahead and maybe fire this off or wait a turn. I could wait until I draw a red source. Black. Or, yeah. Yeah. So I have one turn to draw my red source so that I can K command, get rid of the Chalice or the Crucible. In this case, it would be the Crucible, and because I have another K command for the Ratchet Bomb. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this Thoughtseize, even though I know it's going to be countered. Just because it puts another card in my yard, and it's past the point of usefulness, I believe. The Chalice does turn off his maps, though. It's the Emberinger. Another All is Dust. Okay. Alright, well, I've got a turn to Draw a red source. Okay. Alright. This is the turn, because otherwise I get ghost corded out of the game. If I draw a red source, I win the game. One time, dealer. Come on. Making me sweat. Come on. There we go. See, 2 damage to target creature or player and destroy target artifact. I think some of that was my fault for not fetching a red, but let's see, on the play. See, Stubborn Denial is pretty good against All's Dust. Fatal Push is decent against Ballista, but I have Rakdos Charm for all that mess. He has Ratchet Bomb for Spreading Seas. I think this configuration is fine. Maybe on the play I should be playing more discard. I cannot keep this hand, unfortunately. I'll keep this one though. Snapcaster Mage. I think I want a different threat. Relic of Progenitus. Well, I'm glad I bought him that Snapcaster Mage. I'm going to hold this so that he can't activate the Relic this turn. And if he has Chalice, I have Stubborn Denial for it. Go ahead and get a Steam Vents here. Does he just have Natural Tron, I wonder? I'm going to keep holding the Street Wraith, because I know I'm playing the Spreading Seas this turn. So one thing I've been trying to figure out is Spreading Seas versus Fulminator Mage. And the big thing for Spreading Seas is it costs 2 mana, so on the draw like this, it's a lot better. I'm going to keep holding the Street Wraith in case he has like a Thought-Knot Seer. And that way the Street Wraith is like a card that he doesn't know what it is. So, because if he just goes Temple. So he did have Natural Tron. We'll exile the Scalding Tarn. Alright, let's get Watery Grave here. Sure. Okay, let's start with the Thoughtseize. Because then I can Serum Visions. Okay, Wormcoil, Batter Skull, Ballista. He can cast Ballista next turn, but I don't care because I have Fatal Push. Batter Skull's annoying, but I can beat it. Wormcoil is the hardest to beat, so I'm going to take the Wormcoil. Because I can shatter the Battle Skull, whereas shattering the Wormcoil leaves back tokens. That's just not what you want. So now we're going to go ahead and Serum Visions. Plus I can also have Stubborn Denial for the another Thoughtseize. I'm going to put that on the bottom. And I think I'm going to put the Thoughtseize on the bottom too. Because my life total is starting to get a little low. It's already at 8 when I cast a Street Wraith, and then 6 from the Thoughtseize, so. Alright, let's go ahead and cycle a Street Wraith. Cycle another. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough. Okay. So he's going to go ahead and cast the Ballista, unless he draws like a Thought-Knot Seer, which would be annoying. But I can go ahead and Fatal Push the Ballista, untap, play Gurmag Angler, have Stubborn Denial back up for the Batter Skull. So he played the Temple. And it looks like he's going to play the Ballista. He'll fire this off. He'll put me to 6. Next turn I untap, play the Gurmag Angler. Have Stubborn Denials back up. I'm going to fetch an island with this. Well, he has Ghost Quarter, so... Yeah, I gotta get it to 5. I guess just get it tapped. Blood Crypt. I would not like to pay 2 life. Let's go ahead and Thought Scour me. And play this Gurmag Angler. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to hold up Stubborn Denial. Alright, let's start with the Serum Visions. I want both of those. Top. Thought Scour him. Play this Death Shadow. Attack. And now he's at lethal next turn because I'm going to be drawing the Kolaghan's command. Okay, so he can search up Tron. But he's already played his land for the turn, so I'm not sure why he did that, but... If he has a Batter Skull, like another Batter Skull, I can Fatal Push the token. Smasher. Okay. If I attack with everything and he blocks the Death Shadow. If I attack with everything and he doesn't block, he goes to 2 and I have the K command. That's just it. So he's forced into blocking here. If he trades with the Gurmag, he just takes 8. Okay. This is 1 card in hand. And I have Snapcaster Mage plus Stubborn Denial. And if he has another Smasher, then I can just snap in the Snapcaster Mage and block it. Unless he has exactly that plus the Ballista. So that's not the case here. Ratchet Bomb. That does nothing. Yeah. Sweet. So, like it or not, Eldrazi Tron has reached Tier 1. I did say it was a trash deck. That was being a little... That was a little bit douchebaggy of me. That's obviously not a trash deck. I don't know. It doesn't seem very consistent to me. I mean, it obviously has very powerful opening hands that sometimes just run all over your opponent, but it just seems like a slightly high variance deck. And I've been playing it a lot, playing against it a lot. So hopefully we can get a couple more wins in here with this Legacy deck I'm playing in Modern. That's the thing I really like about this deck, is that it feels like a Legacy deck. A little bit more so than the Jund Death Shadows deck, because you get to play Serum Visions and Thought Scour, so you have cantrips, and it's just a little bit more mana efficient. I'm not saying that one is necessarily better than the other, I just from a feel, I actually kind of preferred the Grixis deck, having played both quite a bit. Would you like to play first? Of course I would. This hand is fine. We'll start with cycling the Street Wraith. Hopefully not drawing another land. Okay, so we will get a Watery Grave. We will Inquisition. So inquisitive. Okay, this deck. Alright, well, we will have Kolaghan's command for the Ooze or the Recruiter, whatever he puts down. So if we just slow him down for a turn, I think taking the bird is the best bet. I've been wanting to play against this deck. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the Blood Crypt now. That way you don't like mill both over. That would be so ridiculous. Okay, so we drew the Street Wraith. We're going to play the Death Shadow regardless, and I'm just going to keep the Street Wraith in hand, and then that next turn I can surprise him. Like, it might change his line somehow. And there's no more probes in the deck, so there's no reason to cycle the Street Wraith now. They banned probe, 4 probe. There's the Heath. Probably going to play... Okay, so he plays a bird. That's weird. I could snap Fatal Push right now. I'm going to go ahead and fetch another Watery Grave with this. Or actually, I'll probably just get a... I'll get a Steam Vince just in case he has some sort of way to blow up my stuff. So we know his hand is those 4 cards plus an unknown. If I go ahead and Kolaghan's command now, make him discard a card and kill the bird, that seems like kind of a waste. I could snap Fatal Push to put more power on the field. But I think I want to keep the Fatal Push for the Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just attack and pass the turn. Because what he's trying to do is hold up Scavenging Ooze. So what I'll do is, in response to the Scavenging Ooze, I'll just Snapcaster Mage, targeting the Fatal Push. Didn't fetch because he's trying to hit a 3rd land, I believe. Renegade Rallier. And he'll get back to the other land, and he will do something. So go ahead and fire off this Kolaghan command, and I suppose we can get back an Inquisition or Thoughtseize. We have Thoughtseize now. Let's... If I get back a Street Wraith, it'll be 8, 9, 10. No, he's dead. Okay, so what I do is I Kolaghan's command his face. This would be at 6, 8, 8. Right? 8, 9, 10. Yeah, if I snap Fatal Push now, I have 10 power on the board, and then I have a Kolaghan's command. So no, this is wrong. I can't Fatal Push the Rallier, right? Because I fetched like an idiot. So I'll Thought Scour instead. I played this poorly. Don't do what I do. So now I can K command 2 to him, return Tassiger, and then play Tassiger. Or I can actually return the Street Wraith. That was what I was thinking of. So I can return the Street Wraith, deal 2 to the Rallier. Black, red. Hopefully he doesn't have a path. Yep. Okay. So we definitely want Inquisition. We want Angers for sure. We want another Terminate. I don't think we want Stubborn Denials. We can just play Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes. And I'm not even sure we want Brutality. I don't really like Kolaghan's command in this matchup because they win their attrition. I just need to like load up on Angers and stuff like that. And maybe I can cut a land or an Inquisition. I think not having Terminate's fine because I'm playing 3 Angers. Maybe 3 Angers is wrong. Maybe I should just play 2 Angers, but Terminate kills almost everything that in this deck that Fatal Push will. I don't think they play anything that costs more than 4. Alright. Where you are, Snap keeping this hand. Okay. We will Fatal Push that after we cycle. Bolt the bird, always. It's next turn to get to play Death Shadow and possibly Tassiger. Or I could just play Inquisition plus Tassiger. Okay, Devoted Druid. So we need an Inquisition here. Unless he has like 2 of them, that would be such a tilt. Knight of the Reliquary. Witness can get that back, so I'd rather him just have the Knight of the Reliquary, right? And then I can try to find a Snapcaster Mage for the Knight, for Fatal Push, or some removal. Let's dump the Witness. Get a Blood Crypt. And I'm going to go ahead and play the Tasker because it's going to be bigger than the Death Shadow next turn if I draw a fetch. Well, unfortunately, this means that I have to get rid of the Fatal Push. But I have 3 cantrips in hand plus Death Shadow, so I think we'll find a way to deal with the Knight. The Knight will only be a 4/4 next turn, and hopefully he just doesn't top deck the Vizier. Probably should have gotten a Steam Vents there. Anger. Let's bottom that, and we'll top the Street Wraith so that we can play the Death Shadow next turn. Or we can actually play it this turn if we want. I'm going to go ahead and attack. Play this Death Shadow. Pass the turn. Mirror Entity. So I'm not sure I understand why that's in the deck. I need to read up on this deck a little bit since it's so new, because I'm not really sure what the Mirror Entity is for. Maybe that's just for like the long game or something. Oh, that's right. Yeah, if he can make infinite mana with a Vizier and then make all his dudes like infinities. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and Serum Visions. And then I can Street Wraith whatever I scry at the top. Okay, we'll put that on the bottom. We'll put another Death Shadow on the top. And I will draw it. So he can make his Knight a 5/5 now, which is annoying. So I think I'll go ahead and attack with the Death Shadow and then play another Death Shadow. I need to do this correctly. Okay, another Wolf Run. So this Death Shadow is nice because it kind of stops the whole Wolf Run thing, because if I block the Death Shadow and it gives it trample, then my Death Shadow could live if he doesn't assign the damage properly. I don't have double red for this anger. If he attacks, I could block with this Tassiger. And then if I draw a red source, then the anger wins. So I think that's what I will do. Yeah, I'll chump for the Tassiger. Oh, you know what? It won't win because he has his mirror entity shenanigans. Shenanigans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it makes them 5/5s. He's basically just holding up mana for this mirror entity. So I need to draw. Okay, well that's sort of good. I can still anger if I draw a red source, which I did. So if I anger, I'm gonna attack. I can't attack with both. If I'm going to anger, now's the time to do it. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't quite understand. Yeah, putting a -1/-1 counter on it. Yeah. Okay. So I misplayed that. But if I attack with both of these, he has to block both. Yeah. And then he just has uncontested knight, so that doesn't work that way. Okay. I forgot about the activated ability on the druid to untap it. Okay. And turns out that doesn't work the way you think it does. Because I take damage from the entity and then these live. Classic mistake. Four and 0. Alright, one more. Not playing my best tonight, but I've been really busy this week moving into a new house. We're trying to get it fixed up before we move into it, so I've been ripping up the carpet and everything associated with that, and my father-in-law's been painting, and she's been doing a ton of work to it, so very tired. Turn that air down. Fortunately, it's been a pretty mild summer, so heat hasn't been an issue. We actually haven't had AC in that house for the past couple weeks because we had it pulled out while we were getting new heat pumps installed. So we've been working in the house with no AC, but it's been fun because it hasn't really been too hot outside. Especially the past few days down here in lower Alabama. It's been in the 70s. It's been great. It was actually in the mid-60s the other day, which was really weird during the summer. Yeah, I need to go back and look at that last game. And I think if he had not pumped his mirror entity, then he would have just won the game. Because his knights were 1 power more than my Death Shadows already, and his entity was just a 1/1. So all he had to do was just nothing. And both of my Death Shadows would have died. And he would have kept his knights and the mirror entity, and I had no board. But because he pumped, my Death Shadows lived. That is cute though, the entity pumps the Knight of Reliquary, because it has base power and toughness 0/0, so it raises it up. That's pretty cool. I did not notice that until after he did it. We'll wait until we are 4 minutes in the queue and we'll re-queue, because sometimes you get stuck in this. It hasn't happened to me in a long time, but maybe I'll wait until 5 minutes. There we go. I think it was probably trying to find me like a 4/0 bone or something, and maybe it just couldn't find one. I don't know. This hand is fine. It's a turn 2 Tasker. I'll keep it. This is actually like a classic Delver hand. Lead with the Tarn as usual because this can fetch the basics, whereas the Tarn can't. It's only fetch the mountain. I'm going to go ahead and get my Watery Grave and Thought Scour myself, and then I can Fatal Push next turn. Because like if I draw a Lightning Bolt, I'd rather bolt the Mystic. So this must be elves. So we'll get a Blood Crypt. And we will Fatal Push that. And we'll keep the Kolaghan's Command since we already have multiple Fatal Pushes. I don't think there's an argument to keep the Thought Scour. I think Kolaghan's Command is far and away the best card. And then next turn he'll probably play a couple elves. I can Fatal Push one, I can Thought Season and an Inquisition. This is a really good hand against elves. Probably gonna get a Forest, yeah. Elf. Sequencing is hard. Okay, so let's start with a Thoughtseize. And I'll start with this one so that I can fetch blue with this to cast the Serum Visions. Okay, let's take the company. Another Watery Grave. And we want to get rid of that Heritage Druid, maybe. Let's Serum Visions first. I think getting rid of the Heritage Druid is better than using Fatal Push. Because he could go crazy if he draws. So what can he draw next turn and make him go crazy with Heritage Druid, though? That's the thing. Like, should I just save the Fatal Push for that? I want both of these. Unfortunately, I have to shuffle one of them away if I had next turn. I don't have to. So actually, if I want both of those, I want to put the Death Shadow on the top and the Serum Visions on the top. I'll attack here. I mean, I kind of want to save a Fatal Push for like a Azuri or something. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and Inquisition him and take the Heritage Druid. And I'll pass the turn. Hopefully he doesn't draw a company or something. And if he does, I have Fatal Push for anything big that he hits. He'll probably draw a card off the canopy or something. Is he going to attack? Yes. Sweet. Alright, let's play the Serum Visions. Push that to the bottom. We'll put the Snapcaster on top. Attack. So crack canopy. Hopefully he doesn't like Shaman the pack me. If he does, if he attacks like with everything first, I block one, that won't work. If he plays an Archdruid, I have to, okay, Dwine and Elite. So he could go Dwynen's Elite into Shaman, but that's not enough. I can still Fatal Push something. Well, he definitely can't do it now, so let's block an Elvish Mystic and take 2. And now I have Lethal, because I can Fatal Push Dwynen's Elite. Draw the Snapcaster Mage. Play the Snapcaster Mage, targeting Fatal Push. This is why I have 3 Anger of the Gods, because Else has increased in popularity. Stubborn Denial is poop. Terminate's fine. Gladiator Brutality is okay, I think, but not great. Don't like Kolaghan's Command. I definitely want another Inquisition. Maybe because of Thoughtseize, I don't know. I think my sideboard might be kind of wonky. Like maybe I don't want the second Terminate. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't want to take out a land here because I want to hit my land drops early so I can anger. So maybe I just don't play this Inquisition. Because discard, like once they empty their hand, it kind of sucks. Whereas I do want Thoughtseize to take Collected Company if I'm going to take out my Stubborn Denials. You're both watching. I will not mess up. I'll try. No, actually, I'll guarantee you I'll mess something up. This is a keep with the Thoughtseize and a Fatal Push, and I have a potential, like the 2 creatures I have in my hand are kind of, this is basically a mulligan to 6, but I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to go ahead and Fatal Push that, probably. Let's cycle the Street Wraith first. Okay. Let's get a Watery Grave and Fatal Push that. And the next turn I can Thoughtseize Serum Visions. Scavenging is no. That's the argument for Thoughtseizing, but this is fine. This is fine. I can play Thoughtseize plus Tassiger. Let's go ahead and get our Blood Crypt. Yeah, I thought about Seruming and then just playing the Tassiger. Because he doesn't have any dorks out, so I don't have to worry about him casting like a Collected Company. Yeah, you're right. I should Serum first. That's the correct play. try to hit like a Fatal Push or something. Or a Bolt. And then next turn I can Thoughtseize. Like he could play like land plus Heritage Druid plus 2 Dorks or something. And then go off, but... Okay, Death Shadow. Well, we're going to put the Thoughtseize on the bottom. We could put the Death Shadow on the top now that this Scavenging Ooze is in play. I want to go ahead and get the Tasker out so that he can't exile my graveyard away, so I can't delve my stuff. I think it's okay to keep this Death Shadow on the top because I have another Serum Visions that I drew. So let's go ahead and exile the yard. Because these 2 Garmag Anglers in my hand are basically trash right now with the Scavenging Ooze being out. Eldritch Druid. Yep, that's a thing. Alright, I'm going to crack this Delta. I'm going to get a Steam Vents with it, I believe, and then I'll tap the Steam Vents for the Serum Visions. The reason I'm getting the second black is I still have Anger in the deck. Or the second red. Go ahead and Serum Visions here. There's the Bolt. I'm going to push the Street Wraith to the bottom since I have this Thoughtseize. I'll put the Bolt on top. Get Thoughtseize now. Problem with taking a creature is that the Bolt won't kill the Ooze with the Thoughtseize, so I have to be careful of that. I just hope to basically take a company here. Okay, so he's the combo deck then, like he's Elves with this combo. Recruiter can really do some work though. I think because I have Bolt. Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping to get, is get the company, but he had creatures in his hand instead. Yeah, yeah, there's a little bit of a delay reaction. I think I take 1 recruiter here. Well, since he has 2 recruiters, I think I just take the Vizier. Let's attack. And let's play this Death Shadow. With him having 2 Duskwatch recruiters, if I take 1, he still has another on the field, and having both with the activated abilities, just stacking, it doesn't really matter. Unless I draw, like I know I'm drawing the Lightning Bolt next turn, so. But I think now, if he taps more mana, that the Bolt would kill the Ooze. Okay, so we went ahead and exiled the Thoughtseize, which is good for us, because now we can Bolt the Ooze. Yeah, I definitely should have. I missed sequence of that. I should have seized first. Regardless, I would have kept it the same way because I wanted the bolt on top. So let's Thought Scour ourselves first. Well, actually, I think I bolt first and then Thought Scour because my kill spells are 1 mana. And I don't want him to exile something with the ooze. So you can choose to activate this to get rid of my Serum Visions. I can Thought Scour, and then I don't have enough to do the Grim. Okay, so he just takes one of his creatures to gain a life. And then we'll Thought Scour myself. And then we have enough to play the Gurmag Angler. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Let's attack. If he just chumps, I'm not going to cycle this Street Wraith. I'll keep the Fatal Push in the yard. Okay, no, never mind. I did have 6. I miscounted. I could cycle the Street Wraith, but there's no point. Alright, sweet. We went 5-0. Yeah, this deck is ridiculous. Redonkulous. For our whole 2 washers, I'll open 2 chests, maybe. How many chests did we get? 16 chests? Jeez. Alright, let's open 1. 10 play points. So that's like, what, 1 ticket? That sucks. Let's open another one. Thank you, P. Rotten. Leovold. Oh, I think that's worth a lot. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. I am pretty sure it's worth quite a lot on the internet. It has the treasure chest version, so that one's... Holy cow, yeah, it's 37 tickets. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy, 37 tickets. Alright, let's open another one. $40 play points, that's above average. Okay, we'll open another one. $20 play points, that's about average. I think the average treasure chest, I think they sell at like 2.5. Yeah, 20 play points and Harness Lightning. I don't know what Harness is at. I don't think it's much. I wish I was as good at Standard as I am at Modern. Yeah, Harness Lightning is 0.45. Okay. I don't think Enlicense worth much right now. What the hell is that? Alright, we'll open one more and then we'll stop. I'll sell the rest. I'll cut my losses. Or my gains. Okay, yeah, we'll stop at that and we'll trade the rest away. Yeah, that Leovold is nice. And got Limduel. Limduel the Necromancer. When a creature you control dies, you can pay 1 of the black, return it to the battlefield, and it's a creature. Limdul, the Necromancer. One whole cent. Sweet. Alright, let's trade those things away. And I might play a couple more. I didn't go to F&M tonight because, well, I rarely go to F&M. I don't really pay a whole lot of paper. It's hard to get out with having a wife and 3 kids, but yeah, let's go ahead and sell those treasure chests and we'll get in a couple more games. No, don't do that. Take 52 tickets. I'm so glad they changed this. This window used to be a lot smaller, so if they had like more than 100, it was really hard to see the number. So because it would wrap, so you wouldn't see the whole number if you needed to get more than 100 tickets. So making the window bigger is such a small change. I'm glad they did it. Alright, so we'll reset the filters. We will add all these to my trade binder, and we'll jump in and play a couple more games in the league. I'll take a quick bathroom break, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So let's do another competitive league. 5-0 the last one. Use the play points. I don't think it was not much I want to change. I thought Spreading Seas was fine. I think Fulminator Mage is better overall, even though Spreading Seas is better on the draw against Tron. I think if you're playing Surgical Extraction, that Fulminator Mage is better because it gives you a lot of points against Scape Shift and Tron. Be able to blow up their land and then Surgical the other ones away. Especially Escape Shift. If you Surgical their Valakuts and then are able to take care of their prime times, like Surgical the prime times too, they can't win. Can't win. Alright, we're on the play. This is a keeper. So I think I'll cycle the Street Wraith first, and then I'll Thoughtseize. I could also potentially Serum Visions and the next turn Thoughtseize, but since I don't know what I'm trying to find, it's kind of an issue. But if I Serum Visions and I fail to find 2 lands, then I can Serum Visions again next turn. So let's cycle first. If we hit a second land, then definitely casting Thoughtseize. Okay, good. Great. Watery Grave. Yes. Thoughtseize you. Okay, it's the company deck. I have no turn 1 play, so we want to take the company. The Scholar is annoying. But we have to take the company. Just play the Windswept Heath. Did he draw a 1-mana dork? Huh, he did. Okay. So let's get a Blood Crypt first. We will Serum Visions. Well, I'm trying to think. Should I just Inquisition and then... I think I should Inquisition and take away the Scholar. And then just play the Tasker. That way we get on a fast clock. So he can next turn play Anafenza or Wall of Roots. I think he'll just play the Wall of Roots. Yeah. And we'll just Fatal Push it so we can start gaining with our Tasker. Let's go ahead and crack this for another Watery Grave. We do need to be kind of careful with our life total, but hopefully we can draw like a bolt. K-Command is fine, actually. Put that on top. We'll Fatal Push the wall. We'll Serum Visions again. Put that on bottom and this on top. And attack for 4. Okay. Alright, so we know that he has 1 card in hand. We can make him discard a card and do that right there. He discarded a swamp. I'm not going to use a bolt on this bird. Only reason he get punished is if he has, if he draws company. I am going to go ahead and fetch away this Delta and get the other Blood Crypt. Will not pay the life. I could have just bolted and then activated Tasker. I can activate it now if I want. He doesn't play a bolt or anything, so, and no Kolaghan's command or anything to worry about. So, and now I can actually naturally play Street Wraith. This deck is busted. Absolutely busted. And nothing that he gives me is going to be bad. Because I can just hardcast the Street Wraith. So that's, I think Street Wraith is actually the worst card to give me. On my end. It's probably the best card for him to give me. So it gives me the Serum Visions. Okay, let's cast the Serum Visions. I'll put that on the bottom and this on the top. And then I'll upkeep, or on his draw phase, I'll cast the K command. What's he do with the scribe? Puts it on top. Okay. Let's see. Entirely discard a card. Deal 2 to him. Black. Alright, you still discard a card. And it was a witness. Now I'm drawing Snapcaster Mage and I have Lightning Bolt in the yard. Alright. So, this deck. Brutality can be pretty good, but not great. I think 2 Angers is fine. Not huge on Terminate. Maybe I want it. I don't think Stubborn Denial is great. Kolaghan's Command's okay. Definitely with the bolts. I mean, I actually think Anger is better than Kolaghan's Command. Spellbomb is a possibility. They don't really play anything that I want to terminate, though. Usually I want to just exile it, so maybe I'll play a Spellbomb. Because they play like Witnesses and things like that, and that keeps them from going infinite. And it cycles. We'll do it. I could play Inquisition instead. If I could go back, I'd probably just play the other Inquisition. Really, the spell bombs are for dredge. That's pretty much it. Maybe in the Jund Death Shadow. I can't keep this hand. I can keep this one. I'm going to scry that to the bottom because I want a removal spell. Some sort of turn 1 interaction besides Thought Scour. Okay. Spell Bomb. Okay. I could play the Spell Bomb, but I think I'll just wait. Pass the turn. I'm gonna Thought Scour so I can try to find something. I have these two Snapcaster Mages, so these Thought Scours take precedent over the Spell Bomb, I think. That's not good. Malira. Alright, let's get a Water Grave. Thought Scour myself. Alright. Let us play a Spell Bomb. So this means you can't go for the combo as long as I have the Spell Bomb out. Now we'll go ahead and just fetch away the Bloodstained Mire in a turn. He'll just probably use this time to activate the town. Oh, okay. Company, sure. I was going to say maybe he was going to activate the township, but if he hits the Kitchen Finks, then he wins. I'm not going to make him go through the combo. Gentleman's agreement. I will go ahead and fire off the Thought Scour, though. Anafenza and a bird. So that wasn't the greatest company. Okay, so if I draw Anger, that's really good. So I'm going to get this untapped. Alright, so I'm just drawing lands. So next turn you attack with every... let's see, 1, 2... Okay, so you can't quite kill me. I'm going to get a swamp for this. And let's see, what do we do? We get rid of the Thoughtseize, 2 Street Wraiths, Inquisition, Thought Scour. And we'll just play that. We're not playing Kolaghan's Command, that's worth noting. So he pumps. He can attack with these, the bird, path that. Well, that's not good. Yes. Maybe I should keep in the Stubborn Denials. I think they might be better on the draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He could pump this and put me to 1. Alright, 1, 2. No, he doesn't have enough mana because he tapped the bird. But I need to cycle this spell bomb at the end of turn. Because I really need to find an anger. Well, anger's off the table now. Because I can't fetch an untapped red source. Alright, let's play. Draw something good. Let's start. Flyers are 2. I think I'm just dead though. I'm gonna make him play it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because if he can get one bolster on one of the birds, well, he has to. Then he can just fly over for the win. I mean, like he could just attack with everything too. Yeah. He has to bolster the seer. Right? What did he bolster? Yeah, we can see. Alright. Let's go to game 3. We'll take out Terminate. Play Inquisition. Path is annoying. I'm not going to play the Spell Bomb. I'll play a Stubborn Denial instead. Guess I'll like play first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to keep this hand. It has 2 interactive pieces, a cantrip, 2 cantrips. It's if I just draw a second land off of this Street Wraith, it's great. I will. Gonna have to get. I'll pass. pass the turn. I'll probably get a Blood Crypt, or I'm sorry, a Watery Grave for Thought Scour, and hopefully I can draw a red source for the Lightning Bolt. Passing would be nice. Can you pass? Alright, let's get a Watery Grave. Okay. Well, we milled 3 non-lands. Perfect. Perfect. I could just go double Death Shadow. In fact, I think that's the best play because next turn I Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt. Shadow. Death Shadow. Yes. So wall, kitchen finks. Okay. If that had been a fetch land, I could have just Fatal Pushed it and then bolted it. I can also bolt myself when I attack with both. Yeah. So attack with both. If he goes to block, I can bolt myself. I doubt he blocks here. Bolt me. Well, It's the worst that could happen. Trade one. It's a 2-1. I play another Death Shadow, and I bolt that thing away. Any companies? Yeah, I think I'm fine with this. Oh, I can actually Fatal Push now, right? Yes, I can. And I could just go ahead and bolt the bird. Yeah, I think I'll do that. This limits, like, he can't collect a company right now. And then I can Snapcaster and kill the Anafenza next turn. I think I'll use Fatal Push to do it. If I had just drawn that land, that would have been great. Because that would have been another 6 damage. But, okay. So there's the company. Scholar and Sin Collector. Okay, exile my Thought Scour the Sin Collector. That is the worst possible draw. Yeah, if this guy's had only been bigger. Yep, take 5. They have another company? Yeah. I think I'd just use this company now and put him to 1. Or I'll use this anger now and put him to 1. Oh yeah, I forgot he kills my Snapcaster. Still, puts him to 3. He's in bull range, so drawing Snapcaster away just wins the game. Do you have the combo in hand? He's Abyss locked. All right. Still winning games. All right, we're on the draw now. Waiting for our opponent to decide to play or draw. Keeping this hand, because it's got a turn 2 Tasker. It's got Serum Visions. It's got all sorts of nasty stuff. We'll keep this hand. It's fairly strong against discard. So, blue-red. So what are we playing? Probably not the mirror. This is probably Storm. I think I recognize this name. I think he plays Storm. The leading with Steam Vents is kind of a tell. So let's lead with the Bloodstained Mire. Since we don't know exactly what we're playing against, we'll just Thought Scour in a turn. Yeah, this is Storm. Okay, so I need to see what he is doing with his Scries. Uh-oh. So he put both on top. So let's go ahead and get a Watery Grave and Thought Scar ourselves. Okay, now go ahead and get a Blood Crypt. And I will Serum Visions first, in case I draw like a piece of disruption. Which I didn't. I don't need another Death Shadow. I'll keep this on top. And I'll go ahead and play this. And hopefully you don't die on turn 3. Unfortunately, this hand lacks any interaction against this deck, which is kind of weird. I've drawn the wrong half of my deck. Okay. Let's cycle this. Hopefully draw some interaction. Something to kill that damn thing. Okay, Stubborn Resolve is actually not bad. Because I can get 2 Blood Crypts. And then hold up the blue. And then I'll also have Snap Stubborn Denial for next turn. Pyretic. See, if I counter this, he could Pyretic again. See, how much does he have? He kept both on top. If he should have led with the Manamorphose, right? If he had that. So he'd have 3 mana, and then another Pyretic would put him at 5 mana, and then he has another mana from the land that's 6. So he could have enough to go off with Passing Flame. So I think I let this resolve. Ugh. He's just trying to go off right now. He's casting Gifts. So if he gifts, okay, so he has gifts. If he has Passing Flames in hand, then I'm dead. Because he can cast Passing Flames for 3. I have to counter the gifts. So not countering the rituals was the correct play. Okay, so he had the Remand. So now he's going to be able to go off. So you can just basically gifts again and then just grape shot me to death. So I think overall we're favored against Storm as long as we, actually get some interaction in our hand. I'll save him the trouble. Alright. Stubborn Denial's in. Brutalities are in. Inquisition is in. Terminate. Don't want. Spell bombs are good. Rector's Charm is Deece. Don't want those. We have so much we can bring in. I'd probably cut a Snapcaster Mage. This is good against not Baral, but the other, the Goblin Electromancer. -1 Brutality. I don't think I need Brutality because of the spell bombs. I could just cut the lightning bolts. But I want ways to be able to kill their guy, because that's how they go off, is with the Electromancer or the Baral. So, and I think Lightning Bolt's better at doing that than Brutality, since it can do that in instant speed. It's possible that maybe I cut 1 Denial. I don't know. I have to think about how to board. This is fine. Probably gonna hold this Thought Seize. I'll just run a Spell Bomb on turn 1 so that I can Thought Seize his him on second turn, so I can see he draws a card. I did not want that to happen. Blood Crypt. Or actually, I'll just get the second Water Grave. And I'll Spell Bomb. Let's Thought Seize you. This hand is not really going anywhere. Does he have a Spell Pierce? Or just Scroll Passive Flames. See, this is where I wish I had Surgical, because once you Surgical Passive Flames, it's very hard for them to win. He could Merchant Scroll for like the one that makes a bunch of goblins. Take the Merchant Scroll. Because I'm insured against passing flames right now with a spell bomb on the field. Because if he passing flames, then I just respond by exiling everything. Good draw. So now this is a clock. I could like draw a grape shot, I guess. Be able to kill my Death Shadow. If I did something funny with a fetch, but it's a sorcery speed, so he can't do that. Well, first let me bring this in. It's Inquisition. Ritual which will pass in flames. Okay. I can fetch this, go to 8, and he's on a... That doesn't change the clock. Does it? Yeah, it does. It's a 4-turn clock versus a... Or a 3-turn clock versus a 4-turn clock. It's still a 4-turn clock. It's 3rd turn. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna fetch this to get the other Blood Crypt. And be careful here. So this puts him on a 3-turn versus a 4-turn clock. So there's the Shivan Reef. There's the Electromancer. So we know he can, so this is at sorcery speed, so I'm just going to go ahead and Fatal Push that. If I draw a fetch land, I win. I kind of win anyway. I'm not sure how he can beat me here. He would have to draw exactly like Empty the Warrens or something. You'd have to rip plus empty, but that would only give him 4 tokens. And you'd have to chump both of my guys. So yeah, he concedes. Okay. So I actually think Collective Brutality is pretty good. Whereas I'm less sure about Bolt. Maybe I cut a Snapcaster Mage. Because Snapcaster's kind of slow. And a Stubborn Denial. Keep the bolts to kill the leaders. Yeah, I think this is right. I think I'm going to keep this off of the power of brutality. Right. Let's cycle this first. I did not want to draw 2 straight lands. Alright. Let's play that and pass. And then if he plays like Brawl next turn, I can Fatal Push it. If he plays the Goblin Electromancer, then I'll Collective Brutality. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Alright, let's get a Watery Grave. Let's mill ourselves. Okay, now let's fetch Blood Crypt. And let's escalate. And I'll discard the Steam Vents. Okay, so we definitely don't want the gifts in there. Next turn he's going to play Baral, which I will. Fatal Push, he'll Stubborn Denial, or he will Dispel and I'll Stubborn Denial it, so. Let's take the gifts. Pass the turn. Here comes Brawl. And Spellbomb might lock this game up. I guess if we were being technical, I should have put the Death Shadow first. Just to make sure that, you know, he can't pay the 1 for the Stubborn Denial or whatever, but we know that he can generate more land. Or more mana. And do I want to put the clock on him, or do I want to Spell Bomb? He doesn't have any sort of hand. Like, he's only got 2 cards in hand, and one of them is the Pyrite Ritual. The other one can't give him anything. So even if he draws a 3rd card, like if he draws another Baral or something, he won't be able to go off. So here, I can just play the Spell Bomb next turn. Okay, but it goes top with Serum Visions. Alright, well, let's start with Inquisition so that I can know what a Serum Vision's for. Okay, so he drew gifts. Now let's play the Serum Visions. Keep the Denial on top and put the Death Shadow on the bottom. Because it doesn't change the clock, does it? Yeah, let's put that on the bottom. So now he has gifts plus another card. And we have a 3-turn clock. Sure. So I'll probably just get a bunch of cantrips. Trying to find like 4 Manamorphos is probably be the best. Or well, he can't get 4, right? He has to get one of each name. So maybe he just gets a bunch of rituals and hopes that he draws into something, like draws into the Blood Moon. Okay, put the Blood Moon in your graveyard. And let's put the Serum Visions in your graveyard. Thought Scour myself. Play a Swamp. Attack. I'll probably just Stubborn Denial the Manamorphos if he plays it. Did he draw the empty? Yeah. So now I have to get the Spell Bomb. So I'll pay the black. Hopefully draw some action here. That's not what I needed. Yep, looks like we're going to lose here. I should have technically played the Polluted Deltas, like if he puts 4 in front or whatever. Yeah, he drew into the empty, which is what I was trying to avoid. Alright. I think we're done for the night, now that we finally lost a game. So yeah, it went well. I'm going to keep playing this deck. I'm also going to try to find a standard deck. But yeah, I like this deck a lot. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.